Or
We're in the library, so we're talking very quietly.
right.
This is Mr. Lewis. I'm Mr. Miller. And today is Scatterplots and correlation. I had a long break from the movie business.
Yeah, so we're going to get right back into it.
All right. I think this will take under a minute. Let's see.
Okay. All right. So basically, here are 4 pictures of scatterplots. And what we need to describe scatterplots is the following things: the direction, the form, the strength, and any unusual features that are there. Okay.
So I want to, one little comment. Usually we want to write these in complete sentences.
Yes.
And we state what the data is about.
I will not be, because as
We don't
you
know.
see, it's fun to write with a pen.
Yeah. So here, this is kind of just practice, and we don't have a word problem or context for this. So we'll just be highlighting keywords. But again, normally, like we did with box histograms, describe with sentences.
Right.
Okay, so the first thing is direction. So we're going to do problem number 1 up here. And
Sorry, I'm just marking them off.
that
Okay.
one, we're starting off with one there that really has no direction at all.
Yeah, there's no real pattern.
Isn't there a band called No Direction?
It's One Direction.
Oh.
I used that terrible joke in class today.
Oh,
and
boom.
I totally, biffed it. Yeah,
I'm going to save my pirate joke
yeah,
for
there's
when
no
we talk
direction
about
to
correlation.
this line. It goes straight across. It would, if you graphed it linearly, it'd be some horizontal line that would be
Maybe, or
ugly.
vertical, or whatever.
Right. Yeah, we have no idea. So
It's
there's
no pattern.
no real pattern.
So this one's going to be easy. No direction.
No direction.
We would say there's no association. There's no form.
Right.
There's just no pattern. So there's really no pattern. And same for strength. Strength doesn't apply.
Yeah,
It's beyond weak.
Yeah, extremely weak.
Okay, so unusual features.
No.
Well, it's just no pattern.
Yeah, they're all unusual.
All right, so we started off with the weird one. The next one, very lovely little candidate here. So for number 2, it is going up as we go from left to right, like you're reading. The graph is going up. So as the x variable gets bigger, the y variable gets bigger.
Mm-hmm.
This is a positive. So actually, the direction put positive. We want to say positive or negative association. So positive association means that when one variable gets larger, the other one gets larger.
Mm-hmm.
All right, the form.
Form?
What do you say?
I think it's linear.
It is. So it's not a perfect line, but it's a pretty strong band there. And strength, I would say fairly strong.
Yeah.
It's a pretty good line. You're going to see much weaker than that.
Right. Actually, with real life data, this is a pretty strong data. I don't know why it doesn't want me to make an N. There we go.
Strong. Okay, so
all right.
And then unusual features. I don't see a point way outside of the pattern. So.
Right. An unusual feature would be something like a point way out here.
Yeah.
That's just way off the line. And
so
yeah, that's not in there.
We're going to have outliers and points we call influential points, but we'll talk more about that later. This one doesn't have it.
Exactly.
All right, down below.
3.
That's a little bent to it.
Yeah.
Someone bent our data.
But it's still
positive.
Positive.
It's still increasing as x gets bigger. The y coordinates are getting bigger, so it's still positive. It's very hard to write with the digital pen here.
Yeah, I have to go very slowly.
All right. I got the easy job here.
Yes, you do.
I'm a scatterplot commentator. All right, the form, non-linear.
Linear.
Maybe you can draw the bend, show how it's going to bend. See, it's got a bend to it. So we won't approximate that with a line. We'd use like a parabola or something.
Yeah, it's some exponential thing.
But the pattern's still pretty strong.
Yes.
It's just non-linear pattern.
Right, so the strength, you would still put strong, barring you can write it. Okay, strong, and again, no unusual features there.
Yeah, they're going to have to rely on what we're saying verbally here, I think.
Yes.
So here is one. The direction
is down.
So negative. So that means as x is bigger, the y coordinate gets smaller. All right, and so the form, that's still pretty linear. It looks like it has a little bend to it. So, but I think
yes, I would
linear is still pretty good.
This is linear.
It's not perfect, but the other one definitely has more of a bend to it.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm gonna like
Strength, that's still pretty strong.
Yes.
If you're not certainly, the word fairly is a beautiful word. Fairly strong?
Yeah, moderately strong, weakly strong, somewhat.
Could you say fairly moderate? Okay, maybe not.
I think there
Fairly
was
strong, fairly weak.
too many adverbs there.
It's a little subjective. Now, it also depends on the data and what it's coming from. This might come from an application where that's really, really strong, more than you expected.
Right.
So it kind of depends on the context and what the situation is. No, I don't see unusual features.
Nope, me neither.
All right,
Okay.
time to grab your 84. So if you haven't already, we're going to learn how to make a scatter plot in the 84. So it's in Scatterplots. So the first thing, you have to enter both lists.
Right. So here's our fat, so that would be our X.
Right.
Here's our Y, which is sodium. So you want to enter these in two separate lists. So our X data, we would enter in L1.
Right.
And our Y data, enter it in L2.
Very good. And so we did it down below on the left, but you might want to take a second to make sure you know how to do this. Then we go where we find all our plots. We go second stat plot. You want to make sure it's turned on.
Yes.
And the scatter plot's the very first option. So
Right there.
we've used histograms and box plots. The very first one's scatter plot. When you select that, say X list and Y list. So make sure it's L1 and L2.
Correct.
And you can select whatever marking you want.
Yeah.
I like the little box thing.
Yeah, they're a little easier to see.
Hit zoom 9, like
zoom
we
9.
always do.
And
Bam,
then
there it is.
right here.
So we're going to describe this briefly. This one actually doesn't really have a pattern.
No.
So, especially because of this outlier down here, it's hard to tell whether it goes steeply down or across. And
yeah, I don't think.
we'll talk more about the correlation coefficient, but it was really low. So on this one, there's no real pattern. So no point in talking about whether it's linear or nonlinear or strong or weak. There's really not much of a pattern. It's pretty scattered.
All right.
We got one for you.
Yes,
All right.
we do.
It's journal time. This one has a pretty strong pattern. So we want you to use your calculator to get a scatter plot. And then if you want to quickly sketch it in your journal book, you can. This is a quick sketch from your calculator. And then describe it. Shape, direction, strength, unusual features. I checked this one out. It's a nice pattern.
Yeah, I can kind of just see it by eyeballing it.
So guess what? There's a relationship between fat and calories in hamburgers.
No.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll be checking this tomorrow.
Okay, we're rolling.